Hello, 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 people. Welcome to Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the trip. I am Gary, and this is my man Tony. Tony, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Cool, cool, cool. And the if this was Sesame Street, the number for this show would be 5, and you know why. And before we get into that, and then some, we'll say hi to the people who have joined us to start the day. Got Rosie has joined a little early to say, make sure you smash in the likes and subbing. All right, everybody do that. Rosie has put in her request, so hit it. Biggest Gunner is in here. He says, geez, I'm struggling to stay awake on the couch. Oh, it's been a long weekend or day for you, my man. All right, hopefully you can stay, and we'll keep you entertained all the way through. Be here for about 90 minutes, then we're moving on. And
It could be as herbal supplements of minimal
it could be a
drug.
lot of things, but yes, we got big. I say greetings, everyone. We've got Steven in the house. Welcome to the show, Steven. He says hello, evening to Rosie. Got Anders in the house as well. Anders is in the house as well. That's our lead representative in the chat. We'll see what he, when we go through the game, we'll see what he has to say. Meanwhile, joining us a little bit late, but he must, because he's at the bar, and you'll see what I mean. We got Spencer in the house. Spencer, how are you doing, sir?
Doing excellent. Had some internet issues, but we are up and running.
Cool, 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 cool. All right, so we're gonna get into that. I said the number for this show is 5. And we've got a couple of reasons why, but we'll get into that and then some. Miss Melina has joined us. Welcome to the show, Miss Melina. She says, "Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you and everybody." So, whew, let's get into it. Arsenal has their home opener. Um, Arsenal playing host to Leeds. As you know, we've got some friends that are Leeds fans here, and so yeah, Leeds just recently promoted into the league, so it should have been a game. And I believe for most of us, I don't know if we even gave estimates, but I know for me, I was laughing because I wanted an 8-0 win, but in reality, 3-0 was going to be fine with me. Tony, do you remember what you were thinking this game would go? How this game would go?
3-0 was mine.
All right, Spencer. Any thought? Do you remember what you were thinking when
No,
this
I don't
game?
remember making a prediction. I really don't. I was worried that something bad was going to happen, something stupid like a red card or something.
Yep, yep,
But that didn't happen, so thankfully.
yep. Yeah, I think a lot of people were. I guess was it PTSD or whatever they call it, where they think something bad's going to happen to Arsenal when we are playing a team that we should beat. But I think that I like to think that game was going to happen in the Manchester United game, and it didn't. So now we get back and just be able to play our game. So yeah, Arsenal comes in, and I guess what we'll do at some point in this show, I asked the guys if they could figure out like a list of 5 players that stood out for them that they might want to talk about. It'll be about a 15-minute segment, so give you about a minute or so to talk about the players that you have. So it should go fast, but we'll see how that plays out. But we'll get into the game. Going into this game, a couple of things stood out, at least with the starting lineup. One thing, I guess we'll all talk about the lineup a little bit, and then we'll get into the game itself. But one thing that stood out was Madueke would be starting for us, and that's in replace to Martinelli, who I think just didn't provide much to us. And we'll get into Madueke and how he performed. But Madueke, I think, was welcomed by a lot of people to have him come in, especially the fact that it was on the left-hand side. That was going to be interesting. And I think it was Calafiori. Did he also? Was that also a first start for him? I can't remember now.
I think
I think.
He
Yep,
started
he
last week too.
He had started last week. So the only change was Martinelli and bringing in Madueke. Anything about the lineup that you were expecting to see
Yeah,
any different
Timber.
besides maybe Madueke?
Timber. Don't forget Timber.
Timber did not play in that game either, did he? No, White. That's right. White got injured, so Timber was going to get the start. There you go. All right. I knew there were two changes, but I couldn't think of them. Tony, anything about the lineup you thought you were looking for? If anything, any additional changes, or were you satisfied with this?
Satisfied with Timber. I was wondering how we were going to do on the left wing. We still have questions there. Still feel like we should have just went and got another out and out left back. Then pretty soon, my other fear is we still need backup for Saka. And we don't have a right winger.
No, I think
I
we have
might have
backup.
players you can put there, but you
Yeah.
don't have a right winger.
Yeah, I think
You
we have
need one
backup.
of those.
I think we have backup for Saka.
I don't think we do.
I think we do.
Pitcher,
Okay.
what do you think?
I think either
I agree with
Wary-
Gary.
I think we do because it can be in Wary if we needed to. All right, and it can be the Dauman if we needed to.
Or
Not that
Madueke.
not that he's gonna start for us, but there's somebody that comes in, and we now have Eze, so we've got some some answers to that question, and I know Martinelli can play on that side as well. So we have enough. We have the depth to cover right now in terms of behind Saka. But we need starters now, so that's a little different. Spencer, the lineup, anything about it that you wanted to comment on?
Madueke starting. I didn't have an issue with it. That was the thing that stuck out to me. No White stuck out to me. Not that I didn't think Timber played well or bad or anything. I just injured again. I think that's been my thought process because I was texting my buddy. I'm like, man, some of these players are made of glass, in my opinion. And I know that's probably inappropriate, but I feel like it's like 2 games played and 3 people already injured. So I guess my concern was the players that started last week that weren't able to go this week. That includes Havertz. I was okay with the lineup, though. It's about what I expected it to be. I may have thought Martinelli would have got a start, not because I wanted it to be that way, but Madueke, I think – I don't know. We'll probably talk about it more, but there's games that I think Madueke fits us perfectly, and there's games where I think Martinelli should be your guy.
Yeah.
And this is one of those games where I think Madueke fits the part of where Martinelli struggles. But
yeah, I don't know, and I guess we'll get you hold that thought because I want you to answer. What games would Martinelli actually do good and why? You haven't thought about it, but let's
I've thought about it.
You got it. What is the answer? What is the answer for that?
No, we'll segue it for later.
Okay, we'll do it for later. So Steven actually comes up with a nice comment here. For me, the biggest takeaway from the game was we changed formation for the first time in 18 or more games. Rice played as a second pivot, going box to box, and Erdegaard played as a 10. I think a lot of us like that idea. Erdegaard getting a little bit more into the building up the attack as opposed to building up from the back.
Exactly what we did for the last preseason game. The one preseason game that we looked good in 1-3 now.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Double pivot. Something Tony's been flying.
Getting Erdegaard away from the back line, I think is positive for us. I think we're defensively sound. He doesn't need to go back there.
I feel like I'm his biggest defender because I'm like it's what the coach is telling him to do. It's where he's positioning at. He's being a right back half the time, tracking back. He's not an attack. He's an attacker. There's a reason he got 15 goals and however many assists he had
Yeah,
2
it's hard to
seasons ago.
do
And
that
we
when you
were
don't.
in this formation.
Yeah,
Imagine that. Or
yeah.
something similar to this
It's hard
formation.
to it's hard to get those goals when you're too busy worrying about defense and you don't want to shoot. Oh, he meant 18 months, the last year and a half. So, all right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think he
Yeah,
meant 18 games, a year and a
that's
half.
what I got from it was a year and a half.
Okay. It said 18, so I was going with games. Chris Nix is in the house. Welcome to the show, Chris Nix. He is not doing well. 2 games, 8 goals. Oof. It's not good times for West Ham fans right now. All right. All right. All right. All right. So I guess what I call this, I said the number for this show is the 5, and I guess we'll get into it. And I don't know if you guys have a 5. If you don't, you can use my 5 and we can just talk about that. That way we'll keep it focused. Does that sound about right? I think
We'll see who has the best
Well,
poker face.
I'll put the list up. We've got BBK Sports in the house. Hello, Tavon. If you guys haven't, check him out. He produces a really good show every day. Sometimes with some nice music playing in the background to keep you mellow and chilled. Check him out. He also does an all sports channel. So anything you can think of, NFL, NBA, he'll be chatting about it throughout the season. So check that out as well. Steven says a change in formation meant that Erdegaard would play on both sides of the pitch and no inverted left back, which helped us least side a lot. Okay, yeah, no, I no, I think for me that was one of those things where if we're gonna play Erdegaard like that, then put Saka in the middle. That's kind of where I was going as well. You could have done that as well, but that's for another day. But we'll get into it. I call this segment my 5. Usually do a show about a year or 2 ago where I would just go back and watch the game again and pick out the 5 players and then give you a little synopsis of what I thought going in, and then kind of how the game played out. But we'll get into that, and I'll show you my 5, and you guys can take a look at the list as I go through it. We'll go one player at a time. All right, so there we go. So that's my 5. Madueke. Who else we got? So he starts with Eucharist, Madueke, Erdegaard, Calafiori, Saka. Ooh, I just put Sack there. You know what I mean. I'm gonna change it because I can't leave my man like that. It's a little mistake there, but we'll correct that. Save it and we'll put it back up. So yeah, so Gyökeres, Madueke, Erdegaard, Calafiori, and Saka, and then my honorable mention for the game of Timber. So coming into this game, and with the addition of, we'll say hi to Russ. Russ joins us. Hello, Russ. Welcome to this show. And Rosie has rejoined us back to the show. Hello from the left side. Okay, from the left side. I got you there, Stephen. Yeah, no problem.
All
All right. So here we go. So for me, coming into the game, at some point, Eucharist was going to have to show up. The sooner the better for us, I believe. The sooner he starts taking a shot, the sooner he starts scoring a goal, the sooner everybody can get off of his back and he can work on the rest of the game that he needs to. So coming into this game, home game would be definitely a nice thing for him to start up. And I think it was just going to be a matter of time. I think the last game was a settling in period. I mean, the man played 90 minutes, right? So I think he's only going to get better as he gets more minutes under his belt and figures out this Arteta thing, and the team figures out him. We saw a very nice. We'll get into what happened in the game, but that was my play. That's the first play that I wanted to see and see how he would pan out, because that's the player that we needed to, right? I think for me, the striker is the key number one piece on the pitch to make it work. Spencer, I'll let you go first here. Anything on Eucharist coming in that you wanted to see?
The ability to break down the low block, which I think we struggled a little bit early, but I think his runs and his physical presence, especially on that one goal he scored in the second half, was really good. So I was happy to see him, one, do a full game. Two, he felt it looked more relaxed. He looked more kind of in his element. Where if I know people said he was bad in the United game, but do you ever like? I want to equate this to kind of lifting, right? So you get a weight on the bench, and then your first rep you push hard. And you're like, oh, I don't need to put that much pressure behind this. Like I can do a more controlled rep, vice just like something that's too light, and you put too much effort. That's how I felt his play was in the first game, whereas in the second game he felt a little slower. He felt a little bit more controlled. So that was what I noticed was his presence in the game and his ability to kind of make better passes, make better decisions. Pressing was well, whereas in the United game, he felt kind of he didn't understand the speed of the game. He was overcompensating, or that was the big thing I took away.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the game slowed down around him, and they say that in any sport where you're not used to the speed, the game slowed up around him, and he didn't need to rush him. We saw that happen in the game. We'll say a couple of things here. Yeah, Saka is out for 4 weeks, as Russ says. I think there's no reason to rush him back. 2, he don't have to play 90 minutes when he comes back. You know what I mean? So there's 2 things to it. Yeah, he might start, but he doesn't need. There's no reason for him to have to play 90 when he comes back. So hopefully Arteta does that. Yeah. Yeah. And Russ, I don't know anything about this guy. I think I hate the team that he played for. So no, we're moving on. Moving on. Tony, talk to me about about Gyökeres.
I was interested to see if they could find a way to get him the ball because it just wasn't going to him. Yes, still would like to see the ball down the middle, but we don't seem to be able or be able to do that at this point. But I definitely thought he needed some goals under his belt and calm him down. So he got the penalty kick and the header, which he should have lots of headers this season.
I hear that. Yeah, I mean, I think,
and he had the similar to Lacazette on the number of similar to Lacazette on number of penalty kicks and numbers scored. I think when Lacazette left us, he was like 29 out of 31 he made.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder why he wasn't full-time penalty kicker. And when just a couple of weeks ago, did they say Gyökeres was?
Yeah, there's a report that said he's going to be our penalty kicker. So yeah, he's got a better record of it. So yeah, he should be the penalty kicker, and he showed why. I mean, he showed why in the first one that he got.
Selfishly, I wanted to see Dauman take it, just because.
No. I you know what you that is one you didn't realize. You saw what happened when Saka took his first penalty in a very important part of the game. And I don't think we liked that. So I kind of felt like it's no. If we're looking out for the kid, we wouldn't do that and put him in that situation. So that's kind of why it's easy for me to say no. His time will come. He's 15.
Can I go to Spencer's analogy that he tried to use on the rep?
We'll get into that a little bit later, but because we got 4 players to go on top of this, I wanted to say a couple of things. You were talking about the ball going through the middle. I think we saw a lot more of that in where he came in. The only problem was he kept not passing the ball sooner than later and kind of running into 2 and 3 defenders. I mean, one time it worked out for us. That's how we got a goal. But in the second half, he did the same thing. He could have passed it out wide to Dauman, and he didn't. So I think he'll learn that, and hopefully they look at that tape and they see, look, if you get that ball out sooner, because you see a lot of our players, that ball comes out wide as soon as they can get it out there. And that's how we got the goal, right? Zubimini gets the ball out wide, bang, bang, goal, right? And I think
I assume, Gary, that he has very little minutes with that front they had yesterday.
He has what?
Very little minutes in training with that front that was up front yesterday. So it'd be hard for him to do much with something that he's not used to.
Well, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter who he's playing with, but if the goal is to not dribble into a triple into 2 and 3 players, I think you don't. It doesn't matter who you're playing with. I think that's just football. For me, anyways, I don't hear what you're saying, but like he can see the 3 players in front of him and he dribbles right into them. Because he's thinking about something, but he's not looking across the entire field. So that's kind of my Jokeres. I think he came out. He did really well. He actually helped with the press. One of the things that people said he might have a problem with. I don't think the fact that he almost got a goal because our press was, pretty high and good shows that I think he's helping in that situation. Got the 2 goals. We're going to take that. So we're going to move on. Next player up, Madueke, I think is on the list, right? Noni Madueke. First start as a left wing. The one thing I'll say about him, and one thing I was looking for him to do is, I want him to look different than what we have seen. Give us something that we haven't seen, and I felt like he did that. I don't think he was as productive as we would have liked. I don't think he created. I don't think he got it. I think he got 1 shot off, if I recall. But in general, I think it looked different, and I think, for me, I believe he can handle the defensive responsibilities as well. So I don't think we missed much there. But also, I think what I wanted to see from him is just something different and see if it worked. And I think it did. I think he'll get more comfortable. I think the first game he came in, he started shooting like crazy. And this one, I don't think he did that at all. I think he actually, once again, the game slowed down. He didn't have to take the shot immediately like he has in the past. So I think that was a good thing for him. Tony, talk to me about Madueke.
yeah. I was curious what he would do. Like you said, he can do the defensive. They already have Martinelli that can do that. We need the goals. We need the assists, and I didn't see enough in this game to answer those. Check those boxes. So it's yet to be determined there. I'm worried about that position in general. The left wing. Hopefully he does the fine there. But we'll find out soon, I guess. Not too soon because we play 1 more game, then we're gone for 2 weeks. Then we play 4 games, then we're gone for 2 weeks.
Okay, and Spencer Madueke, what do you think? Your thoughts on him?
I was hoping he was going to get a goal on Saturday. I thought he was fine. Good passing, good runs. I think when I watched the game, I was trying to watch it a second time today. I didn't get a chance to go through it. So I was trying to watch different things. So I didn't really pinpoint on him when my attention to the game. My attention was mostly on Odegaard and Gyökeres and watching Rice play. That's what I really stuck my attention with, and especially in Ruri when he came on. But I didn't see anything bad from Nweke. I mean, I'm sure he missed some stuff that I'm missing, but I thought he was fine. I thought he was better when he flipped over to the right side. That's why I'm not too worried about our backup for Saka. With that being said, I know this is going to be famous last words here. The thing I want to bring back is this is Leeds, and I don't know how good they're going to be when this is all said and done. So I'm not trying to downplay it, but we don't know where Leeds are going to finish in this league. So we don't know if what we saw was it was still too early, right? Like 2 games in, like United's dropped a couple points now. They're only at 1 point now, and so it's still too early. But I like what I saw from Madueke. Like I do like him. I do think I think he's going to end up being a really good signing. What I've seen so far, I think he's an improvement over Martinelli if that's the position you're going to look at. Offensively, I think he's definitely an improvement. Defensively, there's some things that I would like to see a little more from him, but there's only really about 2 games of actual Arsenal time to have a real good opinion of Madueke, but I think he's gonna be fine.
Yep, I hear you. I am with you on that. All right, I'll go through the chat real quick, and then we'll move on to our next player. These signings are unlocking our full potential. Yeah, I think so. I think we've done a good job so far with the signings that we've made. We've seen 3 of them at this point. And is that 3 or is it more? Right, it's 3. Yeah, I've seen 3 of them. Norgard, Kappa, and oh no, Mascara has played as well. So Mascara we've seen. So we've seen 4 of them, and I think they've all looked good so far. Kappa, we hope not to see him into a cup match, and Norgard, it's when we, if we're in a game like we were last time, 3-0 up, Zubamendi probably can come out, right? So that's for the future. Steven says, I'm actually beginning to think that Saka was carrying a slight injury in the United game that blew up against Leeds. I think Saka wasn't healthy enough to play when he did last year. So I think that was I think we got lucky that he didn't get injured in those games. And I think he kept himself a little bit more cautious in those games. Because if you saw him in the way where he actually pulled up, that was him running from the midline all the way into towards the box, and he just pulled up. And I think, I think he probably shouldn't have been playing as much as he had. I don't think he's fully healthy, so we'll see how that plays out. But yeah. Rio Kumoha, I think the end's silent there. Had a good day today. I'm going to save this for later because I really don't want to talk about that, Liverpool. But I did watch the game and was disappointed. Who is Pirlo Hincapi? I tried to look him up. It's a player Arsenal's looking for. I believe he is a defender. I believe is he a right back? I forget what he is. Is he a right back? I can't remember. Definitely a defender, but where does he play? He can play center back or left back. So, these multifaceted players Arteta likes. So,
I don't know how anybody's surprised about Martinelli's or Saka's injuries when last 3 years, basically.
No, I don't think the 3 years he's been playing with an injury like that. So
no, the 9,500 to 1,000 minutes. You can't play on average 3,300 minutes a year. That's what happens. That's why you need proper backup. Maybe we have proper backup, but
no, we had backup. Arteta just didn't want to use it, and I think that's where he went wrong. You can't hold on to players and then not use them. I think it's silly. I think you're wasting resources when you do that. So a lot of it is on Arteta. At some point, he's got to take some of his plays out of the firing line. We knew this for a long time. Steven says, different situation, Gary. With Saka, the game was on the line as well. Let's go into the next round against Leeds. There was nothing on the line. No. You know what? People will tell you, and Tony just mentioned it, for the last 4 years, there's been a lot of games Saka didn't need to continue to play in. He's looked bad in games, and he's played all the way through. And I think in some of those games, he probably needed to come out. He's got beaten up in games, right? I think it was Crystal Palace a couple of years ago. Got kicked right in the back of the calf, and they still continue to play. I think, at some point you got to protect the player.
And there's stupid stuff too. Like he's played every league game, every League Cup game we played. It's like, does he really need to be playing in the League Cup? I would hope not, but
I hear you.
It's just stupid. It's stupid that a player. To me,
Let's move on.
Okay.
We can talk about that all along. Let's move on, or else I'll never get through the chat, and I'll never get through. We can talk about all that stuff later because we got a lot to talk about. I think. What's it? Russ is turning 32. Oh wait, yep, he'll be 32. All right. So what else we got going on here?
He hit 3 instead of the 4. Sir.
Russ hit 32 like 15 years ago.
Oh, is that what it is? The man I stopped at count at 39. So, sometimes you just stop counting. What's the point? It don't matter, right? So, yep, Zubamendi is a gem. I like him. Had a conversation yesterday on the Guna show where I was trying to say that Zubamendi or Partey, it didn't matter to me. I think we get different things out of each of them, and then we've been able to work with either one. So it didn't for me. So some people think Zubimendi's better. Some people will tell you Partey is better in his prime. So either way, I think we were going to be good.
We hardly ever had a prime.
No, but I mean,
Partey, so.
yeah, no, but I'm just saying he was good for us last year. I think if he didn't play any of those play as a right back, I think you would have got more out of him. But you can't push. You shouldn't have pushed him, and we did. All right. Once again, we may not see Saka against City potentially. I think we're okay. I think we are okay now. I think we're okay now. I think we've got the depth that we wanted. So that's all right. We've got Eze now. We've got Gyökeres. Yeah. Talk about the penalty taker against Leeds. Oh, all right. We're on different. I'm missing you. I'm missing your comment. Sorry. Yeah. 3-point collecting at Anfield. I think from what we saw today and what we've seen so far from Liverpool, I think there's definitely a case for us being able to get all 3 points. But we'll get into that a little bit later as we talk about the next game. But next on the list, got Erdogan coming in. For me, I just wanted to see him continue what he did last time and actually, for me, get into scoring positions and maybe either take a shot on target, maybe score, but also maybe, lay a ball out to Gyökeres. Yeah, the way the game started, not so good. So I don't think I don't felt like I got to see him do much in that first. I think he played for about 30 minutes right before he came off. So I kind of felt like, you know what? Was it 30 minutes? I think it was, 38 minutes. He came off in the 38th minute. So, yeah, I think for that first 30 minutes of the game, we didn't look good at all. I think we, kind of kept the game, kept things close for Leeds. I mean, we didn't start as fast as I would like, and the game, we started to give them a little bit more opportunities to take over the game, and they did. The percentage of possession went their way after that for a bit. We got it back, but for that first 30 minutes, we dominated, I think, as far as possession, but we didn't get much out of it. Spencer, anything out of Erdogan that you saw coming, or you thought coming in, or that you saw before he went out?
No. I mean, I don't think he was horrible or good. I mean, it's hard to say because that shoulder happened so early, right? I mean, I was concerned mostly about what was wrong with the shoulder. But I didn't think he was bad or good, to be fair. Like, I'm trying to think back to what we did early, because early we didn't have a shot till about the 40th minute, I think. It was a very long time. I think the Timber goal was our first shot, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. That's how I feel about him. I'm a mixed bag. I'd have to, if we were given a rating system, I'd give him 5 on the day, an average.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't really stick out to me where I was just kind of like, he's still good on the ball. He's still good pressing, but I feel like the whole team was very the first 25 minutes was very first gear.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally kicked it up after the corner, but he didn't really stick out to me. So, I mean, he wasn't even really on the pitch long enough to really rate. That's why I kind of have a 5, just very indifferent.
Yeah. No, it's funny you say that because I actually had the game come on, and around the in the 5th minute of the game, he actually does take a shot. I mean, I think he takes an extra touch and basically.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot that shot. The one that went wide, right? Yep.
No. This is one where he got past the first defender, and he was far away. It was from distance. I mean, it hit a defender basically inside the 18. That's how far out he was when he took the shot.
What wizardry are you using to watch the game, right? Because I still.
It's called computers. I mean, computers allow you to do multiple things at once. So, talk to me about Erdogan, Tony.
Well, I looked at the clock at 36 minutes after he made a good run in the middle, where he should be. And then I looked at the clock at 38 minutes, and he was coming off. I was like, damn. He was starting to finally get a little bit of a groove. Hopefully, shoulder doesn't bother him too bad. I used to kind of make fun of Jack Wilshere for his not playing during shoulder injuries, and they've had 4 rotator cuff surgeries. So now I'm like, shoulder's fucking hurt. So
Yeah. Well, I think
hopefully,
if you,
hopefully it's something he can come back from. Hope it's
yeah.
just a
Well, he got
light
his
strain or something.
yeah. I think the defender grabbed him, so he never really got the chance to get his arm out, and basically just went all the weight went on there onto that shoulder, and basically it was a stinger. I mean, that's why I'm glad he didn't break anything because that would have been the key if he broke something, but he didn't break anything,
Yeah.
so it's just a stinger. I mean, for those in the NFL, you get a stinger, it hurts for a while. Sometimes they give you medicine to knock it out, but other times they're just like, you know what, just come out the game. We'll you'll be back tomorrow. So luckily, it sounds like he'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, if it had been broken, or even worse, some like real massive strain, I don't think he would have finished the game,
Yeah,
or he would have came off immediately when he went down.
yeah,
So I think that's probably, I don't know if he plays this weekend, but yeah, I mean, you think about it, Tony, like the shoulder, man, people going shoulder to shoulder for a ball. I mean, it can hurt. It can
yeah,
definitely hurt.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's involved in the game, but once again, I think he's Rice looks better moving the ball up the pitch than he does, and I'm like, and I don't think Rice is a part of our good attack. So I want Erdegaard to do that, but it didn't look like he was into it this game. Somebody put Erdegaard out of his misery, please. It's hard to watch. Yeah, like I said, we all basically said we didn't see much from him in the game. And I think that in general, our attack looked kind of stale, not really good. Got Boy 10 Dio in the house. Welcome to the show, my man. Yep. And we will talk about Eze. We'll talk about the next game and who's going to start, and Eze's name probably will come up. This game might be a career game for Timber, 2 assists. And yeah, we'll get into Timber for sure. We'll bring that up because we're going to talk about him as well. Let me go through the chat. Anything else? Eze, we'll talk about that. So next, we'll talk about those things towards the end here. Steve, you have legendary status, mate. So it doesn't matter your age for sure. For sure, age is just a number. I don't mean much. I think Erdegaard separated shoulder when he hit the ground, and then it popped back in. It repaired itself, but it hurt like hell. I guess had a teammate in hockey to go that he missed a couple of weeks. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I think it was more of a stinger than if he dislocated. I think he'll be out for longer. I don't think it dislocated. I think he just got a stinger, just a shot.
Can we stop talking about shoulders now?
Sorry, Tony knows about shoulders. So,
my shoulders still both hurt. So.
Yeah. All right. So we're moving on. Like I said, Erdegaard, was not. We didn't really get to see much of him, or it didn't seem like he was influenced the game in those first 38 minutes that he played. So next up, after Erdegaard, I'm waiting for this thing to come up, is Calafiori. I had him on the list. One reason, because something needed to change when he was playing. Because you watched a lot of the game, and every once in a while he'd be right there on the 18. You're like, dude, what are you doing? And I mean, in the center of the pitch. This game, it didn't seem he did that as much, or maybe he did, and it's just LEEDS weren't as good, but they couldn't take advantage. But I think he played for me a little bit better. For me, I think some of his defense, was going to be
formation, well. Gary. Formation and less than
formation changes makes it easier for him. Yeah. So, like I said, I was hoping not for not having on the pitch meant anything negative is going to happen. I think we saw that. So, Tony, talk to me about Calafiori.
I still don't like seeing him out there. I just don't think he's that great. I would grab out other options back there. I would have kept with KVR. Well, not the boss man. That's Arteta. I don't think he had a better game yesterday.
Did you say Kirior? Is that what you said? Did you say Kirior?
Yeah, wrong name.
Okay, I thought you said Kirior. That's what I was asking. Anything else on Calafiori?
I thought he was better, but still not good or great out there. Just I don't see him as a left back for Arsenal. I just think we need better there. We'll see how the season goes.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, he's a center back. So when we go into that three at the back, I think he's at home there. I think when he's the one coming up the pitch, I think things change a little bit. So, I think he did all right. I mean, if you think about it, on the goal that Eucharist scores, right? He's the one making that pass, right? That is a sweet pass, all right? The no look pass, he knew Eucharist was going to be there, and he just let it fly. Eucharist ran it down, and I think he just needs to work on his defense a little bit more. I think as a center back, he'll be fine. As playing out there on a wing, when we really get into that, when we have to settle into that four at the back, that's kind of where things get a little for him. But yeah, no, I think he did all right. I think he just needs more game time. That's all. In reality, would he start for us if we're all healthy? Right? Because you have White and Timber, and then maybe Calafiori and Skelly. If that's where we're gonna go, or we might have a new player come in as a left back. So Hincapi, right? Hincapi's a left back, right? So yeah, so we never know. We might, we'll have another player coming in. So
We might have our 20th left back of the last 3.5 years. It seems
Yeah,
like.
but they have to be multifaceted, and he is. So similar to Timber, he can play as a fullback, but also can play center back if needed. So I think we're covered defensively even now. So,
But I think that's the problem, Gary. I'll go quick on this, but we keep buying all these left backs that can play center back, and just buy a specialty. Buy a left back. Buy a center back.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to juggle between the two.
Yeah.
Have depth of 2 or 3 players in each position.
Yeah.
And you don't have
We're
to
moving
worry
on.
about
We're
it.
moving on. I hear what you're saying. We're gonna keep moving on. We got 2 more players, and then we're gonna move on to the next game. So next up, last but not least, in terms of my 5 is Saka. For me, I just want to see a lot more from Saka. I didn't think I got as much out of him in the last game. Looking for more to come out of him, and we got to see that. We saw that he was out there for 50. This is the 13th minute here when he goes down the first time, and he played another almost 20 minutes with that shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
He just landed wrong. He can't get his arm out in time to hold him. Yeah, 13:27, he goes down. He played almost 20 minutes before he eventually said, "I can't lift my arm up anymore." So there you go. So I think if it was broken, he wouldn't have played for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're showing Kai Havertz in the seat there. But no, as far as Saka, like I said, I wanted to see more. I mean, just wanted to see more of him and see if how he's doing. We got to see it. I think they got the ball to him a lot, like we did in the last game. I think the more we do that, the more we're going to see from Eucharist. I think there was an opportunity there. I think where he took the shot, but he could have passed it, and Eucharist could have got a nice little tap in from the middle of the pitch. If he beats the man to the ball, So we could have had a hat trick there from Eucharist if Saka was a little and was feeling in the mood, but his shot was sweet. Right. So what are you going to say about that? You can't take that away from him. So for me, Saka is number 5. And from what I saw, I liked it. But will we see that for a while? I don't know. We'll see. So Spencer, talk to me about Saka.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping he's okay. I mean, that's really, his replacement had me kind of really excited there for a little bit. But yeah, Saka, this, again, the whole thing where we're going to see in the next, well, obviously we're not going to see it now, but when he gets healthy, I want to see the body of work with him and Gyökeres together and the opportunities that each other presents for itself by creating attention from creating just what they call more headaches for the defenders and for the following coach to figure out. Like I said, the hamstring thing is is concerning. I don't know if it's the same hamstring. I don't know. Maybe you know more than I do on that. But
It's the opposite hamstring. So for me, it's just one
well,
of those things where you overcompensate for one leg and the other leg starts to feel
and
it.
it could be overtraining too. It could be overtraining. You
But
know,
you see it all the time though with athletes, right?
It,
They hurt
the
their
hamstrings.
ankle, they hurt their knee. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
their
Gary,
ankle's bothered.
it's not a coincidence that we had all those
It's not the
muscle
you know what?
injuries.
Screw the injury. This is recovery for me right now. And that's why it's more of a case of that's why he didn't need to play as much because he's not going to be fully fit for a bit.
Well, he's
You
never
know,
been good at man management. So
he's never been what?
good at man management. That's what happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, hopefully Heinz and Berta get him to figure that one out. Anything else, Spencer, on Sacker?
No, like I said, I think now we're at a point where, I don't know what the future of Dowman is this season. I don't know where he goes. Like you look at the lineup and the reserves. There's plenty of people there for rotation at this point.
Yeah.
And I know, the 3 injuries now. It's Havertz, or 4: Havertz, White, Odegaard, and Saka. Like there's management there. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into who starts this weekend at Anfield, but I think that's what I want to see more of. Is there is opportunities to rotate these guys. If a guy's not, I think a lot of times in the past, I think Saka has been relied on to create something out of nothing, and I think that's going to change going forward in the future. It'll have to happen now that he's going to be out for probably 4 to 5 weeks. But, yeah, I mean, overall, you've kind of called out individual players, but I think for me, to pivot off the 5 names, I'm looking at the whole team performance.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Hold on.
Well, I don't really have much to add on that.
All right,
I feel
so then we'll move on. We'll move on. Let Tony
semi-underprepared here,
Tony,
Gary.
Come on,
I gave you
I
some time, but we'll hold off on the whole game. So we'll talk about the whole team a little bit. So let Tony have his little say on Saka. Go ahead, Saka.
Oh, there's never mind. Sorry, I see the
I
email.
thought he was right when he was starting to kind of come into the game.
Yeah,
it's kind of like what I've seen with Odegaard has been him coming off, and guy's been overused. Hopefully, he can recover, be back for us.
Talk about the game because you can talk about all the other stuff.
That's what I said. He was coming into a game. He got hurt. And that's it.
All right. That's all you got on him? You didn't get to watch that part much of him? All right. We'll move on.
It would help if I read my Twitter messages.
I don't
Gary.
know how else to reach you, dude. Do you want to give me your I guess I have your cell phone if I have
Yeah, we're in the WhatsApp group.
So I put a message in the
No,
WhatsApp
you know
group.
what? No, it's my fault. I should have read the Twitter. I'm sorry. I came
Whichever is the best. You tell me what's the best way to reach you.
Cell phone.
All
I
right.
barely get on Twitter. But either way,
I can text you.
My apologies for that. So I
I
apologize to our wonderful fans that were expecting cutting edge, and here I am dragging the show down tonight.
Yeah, and usually what I try to do is before the game even starts, I pick my 5, and then sometimes some things will just pick up because I'm always thinking about them already, and then some things if you go back and watch, you're like, ooh, even more information's there. But I'll give you even more time to prepare for this show. So
I think I have
wait a second.
I have the worst of it, Spencer, because I seen Gary's message because I always read the group chat, but I went on my Apple TV, fired up Peacock, clicked on Arsenal, game expired. Click on the United Arsenal game. It starts playing. So I guess
yeah. You know what? I'm watching it on YouTube TV, so maybe I thought there was just. I mean, usually it's only there's a 24-hour period before they actually allow you to watch the replay. But I mean, the game was on Saturday, so I don't know why you wouldn't have been able to see it today. So that's kind of weird. Maybe because it was on YouTube. Maybe it's because it was on NBC. Maybe that's why. But let me go through the chat real quick, and we'll get into our honorable mention, and we'll move on to the game. I don't rate Calafiori. People will like that he scores goals though. Boytendio. I
Well,
think he is known as a center back, so I think that's why we're seeing him out of position. Either he's going to pick up, or he's going to show us at some point in the future when he plays center back how good he is or could be. So we'll see. Same thing happened to Curior, right? Same thing here, like you said. You know, Steven says here, California, like Curior is a natural left back. Isn't a natural left back. He's a bit of an enigma going forward. He's a threat, but at times defensively, he can give you a heart attack. Given time, he could be really good or terrible. Yeah, I don't know about terrible, but I think he'll be good. I just think Arteta might find, might find he might have to play center back more, and then that's when he'll realize, guess what? I'll need another left back, or he'll find out, I can rotate my center backs a little bit more, so I can have a healthy Saliba and Gabriel in the big games of the season, and not have to use them as much in the games that we should be able to manage.
I like Calafiori.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do find him as a loose cannon. He's not as bad as Zinchenko. Zinchenko was all over the place. Calafiori's got better awareness on the field.
Yeah.
But he adds a lot going forward. I still think he's okay defensively.
Yeah.
Is he as good as Kivior defensively? No. Is he as good as Skelly defensively? No.
Yeah.
But I still think I think some people have made their mind up on the player, and that's what it's kind of like the Havertz situation where it didn't matter what he did; they just don't like him. So I think Calafiori's in that same, I don't know, same example. But my issue with Calafiori is his inability to stay healthy. I think you and I talked about it in the summer. I think we had 4 separate instances where he missed time.
Yeah.
And I need you to be available. And I don't know if we can rely. And that's why you got Arsenal going after another left back, because the left backs we bring in haven't been reliable. Kieran Tierney couldn't stay healthy. Zinchenko even had his issues staying healthy. Tomiyasu. When you buy broken products, this is what happens.
Yep. We bought him, and he was just coming back from a big injury. So, we'll move on from there. Yeah, not worried about that. He's not worried. What's that, Tony?
I was gonna go with Spencer. To me, because all I seen was him at the left back position, and I think he's terrible at left back. Havertz, seen him as a midfield. I haven't seen him elsewhere up to that point. Terrible for us at the midfield. Finally gets to go at striker. He's okay up there. I haven't seen Calafiori at center back. Maybe he's good at center back, but I do not think he's a good left back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, once again, Arteta trusts his defenders no matter where he puts them. His attackers, he doesn't trust them as well. So I think that's a problem he's going to have to get over. Let me go through this.
Same tendencies as Zinchenko.
Let me move on. Let me go through the chat and don't answer. All right. Boytendio, not worried about Saka at all. I'm worried about him because I think we're going to rush him back once again. I think we need to let him. We need to let him work his way back into form. He doesn't need to. One, he doesn't need to play 90 minutes, and 2, he might not need to start right away. Maybe he comes off the bench. Having a Saka come off the bench would be crazy. Until he was ready. Arsenal Misfit says, Rosie, we did a lot of baking yesterday with ingredients from our garden. We made 3 apple pies, 4 rhubarb loaves, shortbread biscuits, and to top it off, Rice Krispie squares. Very nice. Yum. Yeah. Stop talking. I'm trying to get through this. Stop talking. Stop talking. Let me talk. I know. Very cool. If we stay away from the using number 8 to help California because we don't, he won't have to invert, which makes the position more difficult to play. Keep things simple, and the results will come. Yeah, but that's why I'm saying Arteta. He lets his defenders do too much, and then he restricts his attackers, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, you've got Calafiori playing inside the box sometimes, it seems, and we can't get our attackers in there. But last but not least, and this is the +1 here, honorable mention for me is Timber. Coming into the game, I expected him defensively to be fine. All right, I think he's our best fullback. I think because he can do both. He defends really well, and he has shown that he can get into the box and mix it up, and score once in a while. And he had a big game, 2 goals. and an assist, or is it 2? Yeah, 2 goals and an assist. Yeah, just being in the box and creating havoc there for them. So really good game from him. Just once again need to keep him healthy. We keep him healthy, it'd be good. But I think the one thing that we showed last year, we have the depth across the back line. We lose anybody, we have an answer. Mascara gives us an answer now. If we bring in Hincapi, that'll be another answer. If we can keep Calafiori even more healthy than he was last time, it's another answer. I mean, I think we'll be, as far as defense, we'll be fine as long as we can keep these guys healthy. And I think one way to do that, Arteta, is maybe you're going to have to rotate. It's hard, I know, with Saliba and Gabriel, but at some point, they don't have to play every game. Especially even now, they don't have to play every game. When we play, I forget who we play early in the season. When we come back, they don't have to play the full game, right? We play Nottingham Forest, who doesn't look so good. Newcastle, who defensively looks good, but attacking wise, I don't think they scare anybody. West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Sunderland, and then we play that team. So we've got like 6 games in a row. We're playing teams that won't threaten us much on the defense, so they don't have to play every game for 90 minutes. I don't know when the midweek games come, but I think the long stretch of games in that October-November time frame where we can get some more minutes under the belts of some of our other players and see how they play out. All right, so like I said, Timber and Tony, talk to me about Timber. Wasn't somebody I'd planned to talk about, but he had a really good game.
Yep, got the 2 goals, got the man of the match, which they gave him quite early, which I thought was weird.
We didn't give him really early. He had 3 he did a 3 GA already at that point.
Yeah, but there was like 15 minutes left.
He
of the
had
game.
3 GA at that point, and we were working on a clean sheet. What more do you want the man to do?
Want the game to be over before you give it to him, like they usually do.
Yeah. Continue.
I just thought it was weird they gave it to him 15 minutes left of the game.
Yeah. Anything else you got on Timber?
No, I like him. I prefer him still on the left, but what I like about him, he picks up part on the pitch and he decides not to go past that line. He's very disciplined in that. That's why he's a good fullback. He's not a wing back and all the other things.
He does invert. So as much as you talk about he doesn't come up, I mean, how does this happen if he's not up the pitch? How does that lovely through ball from Timber to Saka happen if he's not up the pitch?
He can run with it.
He didn't run with it. He got passed to him, and he made a basically one-touch pass straight to Saka, all in one motion.
I think what Tony should be saying here is that Timber overlaps. And you prefer the fullbacks to overlap, not invert.
Okay.
Correct.
Is that what you mean, Tony?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, because we all know.
I like my classic fullback.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I prefer the fullbacks to overlap and sling crosses in.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was up to me, it would be a double pivot of Rice and Zubamendi, and that's what I would run. And then allow the fullbacks to just play the wings, and then that way, Madueke and Saka can play on the inside, and Gyökeres could just sit there in the middle to receive stuff while Odegaard or Eze play a 10. That's what I would want. But I'm not the manager, and I just kind of work at a non-important job. So, and I'm asking my opinion for diddly squat.
Yeah.
Or as the famous coach used to say, diddly poo.
Yeah. I think Arteta sometimes complicates things when he can make it a lot easier for himself.
He never responds to his Instagram messages. I keep sending them, and he just is like.
Anything else? I think, Tony, you're done, right, with Timber?
Left undelivered.
Good to go, Gary.
All right. Spence, anything else you got on Timber before we move on?
Really good game from him. The headers, for his size, pretty impressive to get 2 goals from that. But just awareness in the box. I'm trying to think of the first header was really good. The second one was just kind of really cleaning up the junk in the box. It's a good awareness.
But
It
didn't
wasn't,
the
it
one
wasn't a
come
header
off the
though.
shoulder?
It wasn't
The
a
first
header.
one was a header.
No, the second one wasn't a header.
I know he kicked it in because it was awareness.
Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, it hit off one of the players. It bounced down and he got his foot on it.
Calafiori took a shot, and I believe it went off a defender and then fell to.
But
Timber.
didn't this wasn't the first header actually off the shoulder?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it was a glance off his head.
Yeah, but I think he's really defensively sound. He makes good passes. I think he's just been our best player so far this season because even in the Man United game when he came on for the 30-minute cameo, I think he helped shut that game down. I just remember the first time I saw Timber, and this is back at the MLS All-Star game. He just looked the part when he showed up. Unfortunately, had the knee injury, but he's been a real good signing. I'm hoping we can get White back this weekend. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if you can have White and Timber out there as your fullbacks, I like your chances in that game.
Yep.
Especially Sunday, going to need it at Anfield. But just a really good game from him. I mean, the obvious things, when we talk about players that played well in the game, you always talk about the goals and assists, right? That's usually kind of part of it. But I just think all aspects of that game, he was really good. And, he's the one player that I think's been consistent so far this season. Him and Raya. David Raya had a massive big save on a header that I don't think we should forget about that either. So those two are probably my players so far this season so far.
Yeah.
For the 2 games.
I'll say this, that our center backs have made it very easy for everybody to look good.
Yeah.
And I think Zubimendi has made everybody look good as well. I think our spine is very strong, and we don't need to talk about them much because nothing happens. I mean, as many times as we saw when Calafiori would just bomb down the pitch, and then Gabriel was all alone with Bueno. He didn't get much freedom because Gabriel was there. So I kind of felt like they make it like they are quiet, in a sense that we don't see much of them. We don't realize how much they're doing, but it makes the rest of the game look really good, especially if our fullbacks are doing what they do and then our attackers are doing what they do. Just, the fact that there's a 0 on the opponent's side, that's our
why you're first place right now. It's absolutely why you're first place, right? There was a big save in the United game, and then the header that was a massive save from Raya on Sunday or Saturday. If you let either of those in, for one, you're on a draw with United, and 2, you're tied with them for first. And granted, it's the second game, but that goal difference could be a massive impact coming down. And let's not forget David Raya. I think he had 13 clean sheets last year, which was most in the league. That's 2 so far, 2 on the board. I mean, you don't lose games if you don't give up goals, and if it's a good start. It's a good start, and I don't want us to overlook David Raya and all this too. And I know you mentioned Gabriel. It's a team effort. When it comes to
continue on, and then you can go through the rest of the team. Any highlights you want to talk about? Because you wanted to talk about the team, and I kind of said
Dowman was fun when he came on. Won the penalty, won the free kick. I really enjoyed watching him. I was happy with Madueke. Went over to the right side. I thought he was better on the right side than the left side, which I'm not gonna say he can't play that. I'm trying to think who else came in. Inwiri came on. I liked Inwiri. I thought Inwiri filled Martin Odegaard's shoes very well. Good passing, good distribution. I'm trying to think who else came on. Miles Lewis Skelly, I believe, came on.
Yep.
I thought he'd be the starting left back. If you'd have asked me at the end of last year, I would have slated him to be our starting left back. And the fact
you saw how the preseason went, and if you saw how the preseason went, and you were watching him, even if he was our starting, he just didn't look ready to play, anyways.
I still wonder where his final position is when it's all said and done.
They said he's moving centrally, so he'll be playing.
I mean, and I like the idea of that too.
Right.
If you think about,
that's where he plays, though. That's the thing.
Well,
He actually is a midfielder. No, he's a midfielder. He's
No,
not.
no, I get that. I get that. But he plays left back on the sheet. The sheet says left
No, I
back.
know, but his goal right now is he's going to be pushed further into midfield.
Well, I think that's where he would be most helpful with this team.
Yeah.
But I still think he's defensively sound enough. Preseason,
As a midfielder, he is, but not as a fullback.
You didn't like him last year as a fullback?
He got caught out multiple times as a fullback, and that's because he's not used to. That's not his position. He's playing out of position.
I liked him as a fullback.
So, I think he looked good compared to what we got. But we actually need guys like Timber that can play.
Would you argue that Miles Lewis Skelly is more defensively sound than Calafiore?
Yes.
But again, I think when we're done having a conversation here, Calafiore overall probably is the better for the position at this point.
I think because he plays on the back line. That's where he's played on the back line. So.
And let's not forget, Miles Lewis Skelly's only 18, so the story is still being written. So.
Yeah, well, if he's really good as a midfielder, and that's where you see him, the only reason why he's just a good footballer, that's why we could play him there. Just like Saka played. Where did Saka play? Where didn't he play? Right? Where didn't he play? He played everywhere because he's a footballer, right? He could have been a really good fullback if we wanted to make him that. Could have played centrally, right? As a 10. He could have done all these things. It's just a matter of where we wanted to use him. I have an early start at work tomorrow, so I'm off. Steve, thanks for joining us. Have a good sleep, and we will see you on the next one. The next game will tell us where we really are as a team. Have a good night. Yeah, he will, but you might see. We'll talk about the next game. Anything else, Tony, on the game? Any of the other players or the game? The team as a whole that you want to talk about?
It was weird to see at the 56th minute we had four substitutions. That was forced to make those changes.
64 minute, right? 64 minute is when the 3 subs came in.
Oh, I thought it was 56 for some reason.
No, 56 was when Calafiore came in for when Timber came in for Calafiore, or when Calafiore came in for Timber. Oh wait, no, that was the goal at 56. So I don't know what happened. Saka came out in the 53rd minute. So yeah. Nothing happened on the 56th minute.
But still surprised that.
So
substitution.
Yeah. Anything else you got?
Nope.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think this game it was a good primer for what we're gonna have. What's gonna happen? I think the way we played is the way we're gonna play against a team like Leeds. Right? We're gonna be able to dominate them. Any teams lower on the table, we should be able to do what we did against Leeds. Leeds is new, so they're not gonna have players that are Premier League ready. But I think they're not gonna they're gonna have the same struggles that Leeds have against us, especially as each game happens. When we play Liverpool, we'll get into that. I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, as a whole, I think the game it started slow. So if you take away the 30 minutes, I think those last 60 minutes were really good. Those first 30 minutes, I think we're still kind of feeling our way around as to how we want to play. But the next 60 minutes, I think we played really well. So, and then, some people will say, well, that's because Erdegaard came off, and that might be the thing. That might be it. Maybe, he doesn't give us what we want.
Bullshit. People keep blaming him for.
Yeah. You know what? There's something to be said about. I think I'd rather have Nweri playing, because I think with the things that he does is what we need.
Well, what you always do, Gary, you play the healthy, informed guy, and that would probably be Nweri at this point.
Well, we have no choice, right? We have no choice right now.
And you would probably be pulling South off as well, because
who's better than Saka right now? If you're gonna say I've got 2 wing positions, who's better than Saka right now?
I still think we need to buy his replacement.
Like I said, you can't answer because there is nobody better than Saka, even at 50%, 60%. That's how good he is. Martinelli's not better than him. Trossard's not better than him. Is Madueke better than him?
Guess you can do Nweri and pushing
And
him further.
Winery is better than him. Yeah, is Winery better than Saka?
Than a 50-60% Saka, probably, because you're not letting it be injury.
Well, see, we're talking about how he plays, and you're telling me about his injury. I'm telling you, they're not better than him playing. What you get out of Saka, I think you're not getting out of anybody else right now. Eze, you might be able to get something out of him more than any other player. But I don't think the other players are getting. You're not getting the same out of them. Him at slow speed is better than some. Let's get into the chat and we'll move on. Lonzo has joined us. Welcome to the show. He says, "Yo, that's what we want. That's what we want." Arteta using subs earlier than later, like the 85th minute. I think, the 64-minute subs was a surprise for me. He was forced to do the other subs, of course, because of injury, and maybe that's why he did subs earlier. He got it, But in reality, I think, he needs to get used to doing stuff like that in games like this. But the one thing you got to say, when he made the 3 subs, we're up 4-0, right? So that's one reason why he definitely needed to make the subs. But I think in past games, we might still be sitting on 1-0. We might finish up with 3-0 score, but in general, not. All right, so let's talk about it before, next game. Liverpool had a scare today. I think they should have lost. I think 11 minutes of extra time helped them. Some people have said Fergie time, but this is slot time, it seems.
Yeah, Liverpool seems to get a lot of extra time at times when they need to get that goal, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But
no, they get lucky, right? They get lucky. I mean, Virgil van Dijk has put fouls on people and not get penalized for it, and you see him like pointing to his leg, and I'm like, do you remember Anthony Gordon last year with a bloody nose? Do you remember that, Van Dijk? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? No, you don't remember that, do you? That was an elbow, right? He got an elbow to the face. I believe that was a Liverpool game, and not even a yellow card was given. This guy, Anthony Gordon, got a red. Van Dijk put an elbow to somebody's head and blooded him, and got nothing. I don't think they even called a foul. So no, Liverpool. I think they've looked suspect. I think they've been suspect with their defense for a bit, right? I mean, we showed it without, when we played them last year, we showed that their defense ain't all that. This year, I think same thing. They've had to come back in games to get the win, right? I think in 2 games they had to do that, right? I believe in 2 games, or at least in 2 games they had to come back. So yeah, I think we are, if we, the way we've been playing, and we know our defense is really good, Newcastle's defense just as good, not better than ours, but just as good the way they play. If we play the way we have, I think we'll be okay. And our attack is better now, even though we're going to be missing Saka. But I expect Eze to play. I expect Nweri to play, and I think they will create problems. So, yeah. So
I have a different lineup. I have Eze playing.
That's what I just said.
I don't have Nweri playing. I got Martinelli and Madueke on the wings. We're going to do the same thing we did against Man United. Invite pressure, and then we'll break you on the wings. I want speedsters on the wings. And then you can bring Nweri in, and we can go from there. But
if he's
that's
the backup to
my thought process.
Yeah, if he's the backup to Erdegaard, then he plays, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could put Eze on the wing. I don't know if Eze gets the start. I think he probably does.
Why wouldn't he start? What is it? Tell me one good reason why he shouldn't start in the next game. We're down.
I think he should start.
We're down essentially 2 of our best attackers.
I think he should start, but I'm not saying whether Arteta actually selects him to start is the question.
What position are you putting him at?
I'm putting him at 10 in the midfield.
So he's replacing Erdegaard. All right.
Yeah. I want experience out there. Not that I'm thinking Nweri can't do it. I think more times than not, we'll see Nweri get that start over Odegaard if we're talking about a long-term injury. But even with
He's
Eze
replacing
there,
Saka.
Madueke.
I just feel I'd rather have more more technically sound players. Like I think I'll get more out of Nweri playing than I would Martinelli playing.
You're going to Anfield. You're going to trust your middle of the park on an 18-year-old?
What, I think he'll be all right.
So hear me out when I say this. This is my thought process here. I've got the back four set up. I would lean Miles Lewis-Skelly, but if you can give me a perfect world, Timber and White are my fullbacks, Gabriel Sleeper my center backs, Ryan my goalkeeper, no question. Rice and Zubamini are going to sit in the pivot. They're going to sit there, and then I'm going to have Eze up top, and I'm going to have Yorkeres on top of him, and then I'm going to have Madueke and Martinelli. And when it comes time, zing it and let them outpace each other.
Yeah, I think I like Tony, I don't know about you, but I think Martinelli experiment, we know what it's going to be. So
Martinelli's going to play. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead. I interrupted. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the first thing that went in my head. It's like Spetcher's talking about him racing down the sideline. It's like, yeah, he's a race down the sideline. He's looked across it. Nobody's going to be there. There's going to be a defender come. Then he's going to dribble it out the back. Then there's going to be a free kick for Liverpool. The kid's not good enough. It is peak development. We need better. He's reached his potential, and I don't think he's gonna get any better.
We just act like he's a bad player, like he can't play at all. Like I think that's completely unfair.
No, I
just think there's better players than him. I think there are better players.
Right
I think Nweri's better than him. If we're going to talk about we need to score goals and who's going to help us do that, and Nweri's going to help me before Martinelli.
But you're also talking about the situation. We're talking about going to Anfield. You're talking about what you can tactically expose. I'm talking about their back line and how weak it is. I want to.
We've had Martinelli running at their back line.
Do you know what
scored a goal against them too?
Yeah.
Do you know what unlocked them?
I don't know
back
about
there?
that now, huh?
One question.
What worked last year? It was the other player, other left winger, one that times his runs.
You're talking about Trossard.
Trossard can get back behind because he knows when to time his runs.
Well, Trossard would be my sub.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd rather get Nweri on the pitch along with Eze than Martinelli. That's my thing. Let me say hi to the chat real quick. We got Mr. Tom in the house. He said, I've been a bit busy this weekend. Who won? Yeah. It's funny. He was so busy that he doesn't remember that he was on a watch along with me watching the game. So there you go. So, yeah, he knows what happened. Maybe he's dreaming. Are you putting Eze on the left, Gary? I'm putting him out wide. He's played the left, I think, in the last 2 games that he's played for Crystal Palace. So I think he'll be fine out there. He's a footballer. And I get the concern about Nweri. Maybe it might be too big for him. But I kind of felt like, you know what? I think we prepared our youngsters for these types of things. So, I mean, it wasn't as if he hasn't played in any games, big games for us last year. So,
I mean, that's when he started playing last year, was after Havertz went out. So.
Yeah.
I mean, my big thing is like, and this is the reality here. You're going to Anfield. I can't remember the last time you won at Anfield. And the reality is you're going to want someone experienced in the middle there. And Rice, Zubamende. I guess the argument about Eze and the Central is he's not going to be used to playing with Rice and Zubamende and those guys, but I think he'll be able to be fine. You want experience in there, and that's why I'm going with what in a normal argument. If we were saying, hey, Odegaard's out and we're playing, I don't know, West Ham away, or we're playing 9th place Bournemouth away, I'm agreeing. And we're in the middle of the park, Eze on the left. But because I want to utilize their speed, and you got someone that can sing that crosses into Yorkeres, because you're not going to have him play a false 9. If you're going to play this system I'm talking about, it's going to be more of a Yorkerez is leading the line back and forth. Martin Elliott and Madueke kind of line up with Eze, absorb the pressure, create the counterattack. Yorkerez is the target man in the middle. That's how I'm looking at it. And I don't think it might happen that way. But if you're gonna try to get a win at Anfield, I think that's the way you're gonna do it. I don't think making Nweri run the line at 18. I mean, you can give it a shot.
I just think you're going back to the tried and true, everything we've done before, and thinking, oh, now it's
But
going
it's
to
worked
work.
in the past too.
We haven't beat them there with all the things you just talked about.
Well, then what do you want to just go have a go at it?
Yeah, this is a good time to do that. Yeah, even if we were to lose this game, it's not that bad.
Oh, I think this is a free hit, free space, like a free space.
So
Absolutely.
For me, I think defensively we're sound, so that's why I think Nweri can play. Right? I think he can play. That's why. Yeah, I mean, at some point, either he's not going to move him up, or Eze's going to, is Eze going to take on the role as an 8, and play a little bit and play as the 10, all right, and Nweri will play behind him. I don't know. I mean, you have different options there if you went that route, and you can still put in Nweri if you want to put him as a wing, all right. I mean, you still have that option as well. He has played out there, and he's been fine there.
I like that too.
So you've got multiple ways. I just think that I'd rather have those two on the pitch if I had a choice. Tony, I mean, I don't know if we've been interrupting you or you've not been. You don't have a say. What do you have to say about Liverpool game?
No, I've been agreeing with you on what you said so far.
Yeah.
But you to me, you put your best attackers on there. You go forward. After the game, you got 2 weeks of nothingness. So you might as well go balls out. And it might take a little in-game tinkering. I just don't think they're gonna be able to throw these guys out there and they're gonna play that well. And that's what I was talking about earlier. It's like having Dalman and all those other guys across there. That's something when he hasn't probably played it when he's doing the first team, their lineups. I doubt those teams have been showing up, so they're have to improvise, see what works best. I mean, we can guess all we want to, say what we think will work the best, but that'd be Arteta's tendencies, and we'll see what he comes up with. Hopefully none of the players we just mentioned end up as left back or as a wing back. You never know what Arteta's going to do.
Yeah. Man, you talk about wild. Put Dalman out there as a sub. Can you imagine? Like, hey, you got 20 minutes at Anfield. Good luck, 15-year-old. Oh, by the way, your biology homework's due tomorrow.
You got Gabriel. Stay by the post, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Dalman's gonna be running up and down.
I mean, I think they can. I think experience would be nice. So we'll see. Go through the chat real quick here. Was Russ Morgan successful in bullying Spencer into saying Leeds are going down?
I mean, if I tell you what, Tom, if we do have the road trip on Sunday, we can talk about Leeds and their relegation battle. I would love to have that conversation.
There you go.
You need 35 points, Tom. That's all you need. 35 points.
Yeah.
You already got 3 on the board.
Yeah. Yeah. So Leeds, you guys. So you said Leeds 16th or 17th. So
I just think Wolves or West Ham will look worse.
Yep.
Especially West Ham. And it's going to be one of the 3. I just think we're due for a couple teams to go down. That this whole 3 up, 3 down. I don't think it happens this time. I mean, Burnley's got 3 points now. Sunderland's got 3 points. Leeds got 3 points. I mean, who else has looked really bad to you outside of Wolves and West Ham from the regulars? Brentford picked up 3 points. I mean, I know it's probably not going to happen, but Villa's on 1 point so far, right? Or 2. No, they're 1 point.
1 point. 1 point.
They're going to be fine. Villa will be fine.
And they play Crystal Palace, so it's going to be we'll see.
It's not the craziest thing. I mean, like I said, it's 2 games in, 6 points on the board. You just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would feel bad for Leeds if they were on 0 points right now.
Yeah. Well, they're set in 12th, and they play Newcastle. So Newcastle's attack could be all right. I mean, you just gotta, I guess, watch out on the set pieces, right? The corner kicks. So
yeah, I mean, that's been Arsenal's. I mean, look, here's the thing I thought about mostly now that I think back to the emotions of Saturday. We scored the first goal with Timber. I was like, well, there we go. This could be the narrative of set piece FC.
I'll take that all day. I'll take goal FC. Nobody told me how I have to do it. They just said get the ball in the net. I
think there's one thing that we can talk about the Arteta time, and maybe even the last couple of years, is that we score in multiple different ways. And the ability to score on set pieces is just another thing that's in your arsenal if I need another goal. But I think that was the good thing about Yorkeres's goal. Is it was such a I want to call his type of goal, the striker type goal, where he was able to kind of just push a guy out of the way. And we just haven't scored goals like that, where the guys have taken it and been so direct. And I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I was really thrilled after Saturday. I mean, the only thing that would have made it better is if Madueke had scored a goal, and then we could have gotten him kicking and going. But I mean, the Eze unveiling, it's about as perfect as a Saturday as you're going to put down, minus the 2 injuries. But
but 2 injuries kind of dampened mine, especially like when they first started. It was a severe injury to Saka, so I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna be out for a year.
Well, when I saw it, I was like, oh, he's done his hamstring. I guess I was thinking 2 months, and that may be before he comes back full. And the thing, the Odegaard one, I thought he was going to be fine because he kept on playing. But if you really want to get negative, you run a midfield of Moreno, Rice, and Zubamendi on Saturday with Eze on the wings.
No, Moreno doesn't start. Stop.
I'm just throwing the names out there.
No. That is a terrible even joke. Terrible joke.
Come up
I don't even gonna. No, we're moving on. We are moving on from that one. No, sir.
Leave it to me to bring the show down.
No, yeah. We agree that Dalman is the youngest Premier League player to dive to win a pen.
I mean, he got tripped up, so I mean, I don't know what you mean by dive.
Yeah, he definitely got tripped. I saw contact. I didn't see him.
There was contact there.
Yeah, there was definitely contact. Whether or not he left his leg there or not is to be, it's up to the referee.
It's always different when you can see Tom's face.
Yeah, we know what he's thinking. We know what he's thinking.
Oh, we know exactly what he's thinking. He's blaming everything. Instead of taking responsibility for Leeds getting beat, it's because Dalman dived.
Yeah. All right. We are getting to the end of the show. In all seriousness, I thought Leeds looked okay until it went 2-0. Then the time of the second goal killed us. Yeah, going into the half, seeing that goal going the way it did, ouch. I saw contact, grown men lying on the internet. Hey, there was contact. All right, so we're gonna everybody have to say we're gonna get out of here.
Sorry,
this show went really fast as far as the clock.
This is like the fastest 90 minutes I remember.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think picking 5 players, and this time I'll give you the 5 players before the Liverpool match, so you even have time to watch them as they play. Maybe I'll try to give you a synopsis of what I'm thinking going in, because that's usually.
And hopefully next time, Peacock lets me watch the game after it's done on NBC.
Did you try to watch it live, or you couldn't watch it live?
I watched parts of it live. I was trying to get my yard mowed before the rain.
You were mowing it, or somebody else was?
I was mowing it.
Why are you trying to mow your yard when there's a game on? That doesn't make any sense to me. I kind of find no. Spencer, talk to me. We're gonna get out of here. Talk to the people.
And follow the mowing the lawn discussion. How do I follow that? No.
Go for runway for landing strip.
Oh, that's not PG. God have mercy. No, it was a good weekend. It gets about as good as you can get. 2 goals from Yorkerez. Oh Jesus. And oh Lord. The test he gives us sometimes. And 3.6 goals, feeling good. I don't have anything else, Gary.
All right, that's no problem. Tony, talk to me. What should the people do?
Be happy you have 6 points. Don't be overexcited, underexcited yet. Still a lot to be decided. Nothing will be decided with this Liverpool game. And we'll see what goes on from there. But overall, I'm happy to be here. Glad not to be in the hospital. Or the 6 days I was in the hospital that I didn't know I was there. Still 6 days of my existence. Gone.
I hear you. All right,
But I
people.
can make fun humor about
There you go.
landing strip.
Yeah, Mr. Tom's still going at it. Contact he initiated. Yeah. 15 and well, versed in cheating already. A sad state of affairs. The game's gone. You know what? Your man was beating him up the entire game. So and then he gets all upset because he gets a foul called on him. Yeah, I believe USA has 9 o'clock game. I don't know what that's. Yeah. The rest on Peacock. Yeah, you get one. We get usually one game. So I think the first game sometimes is on NBC, and then the 12:30 game is on there because that's the 5:30 game in the UK is on NBC. But then the mid that's 10 o'clock. Usually, most of those games are on the stream. But everybody, thank you again for joining us. We'll do this again. I'll have these guys a little better prepared for my 5. And
We'll tell Spencer to make sure he reads the group chat.
It's really my fault.
Yeah, he said he doesn't read any of that stuff. I don't know. He's too busy doing whatever he's doing. I try to give it to. I'll probably try to text him. Yeah, feel better. Tony, Mom says. Mom, thanks for joining us. Nice seeing you on the screen. Yep.
Hi,
Nice
Mom.
seeing you on the screen. Everybody, we will do this again next Monday. We'll be talking about the Liverpool match, and hopefully we'll be talking about maybe another 1 or 2 players coming in. So we'll see. Our Arsenal might actually have another 2 players coming in. Also, they're going to have at least one. They've already brought in another one that's going to be around in a couple of years, or in 18 months. We'll have an 18-year-old from the Scottish League, I believe it is, coming in. So yeah, Arsenal's doing business. But we shall see you guys on the next one. Enjoy. Have a good night, and we'll do this thing again. And we're out.